Okay, I want to start with something that I think a lot of people feel but don't always say out loud. Small talk just feels pointless. Like, why are we talking about the weather? I don't care about the weather.
mm, yeah, totally. And honestly, you're not wrong to feel that way. A lot of learners feel small talk is fake because they think we're exchanging words but no real information.
Exactly. That's it. It feels like noise, like I'm saying things just to fill space.
Right, right. And here's the key shift. Small talk in English usually isn't about information at all. It's not content-based. It's more like social positioning. Wait, let me rephrase that. It's about signaling safety.
Okay, that's interesting. So you're saying it's not what you say, it's what the saying does?
Exactly. It's a way of saying, I'm friendly. I'm not a threat. We can exist in the same space comfortably. That's why the topics are so boring. Weather, traffic, coffee. They're low risk.
That actually makes a lot of sense, because if you treat it like information exchange, it fails.
Yes, and that's also why "how are you" confuses so many learners. It sounds like a real question, but it's not. It's a greeting ritual.
So when someone says, "How are you?" and keeps walking,
They're not being rude, they're completing the signal. And once you see that, small talk stops feeling fake and starts feeling functional.
okay, I get that. That already changes how it feels to say those words. All right, before we go any further, quick pause. If this conversation already feels a little too familiar, that's kind of the point. This podcast is about the English you hear every day, not the kind you memorize.
Exactly. And honestly, we're not here to teach perfect sentences. We're here to talk about how English actually moves in real life. At work, with friends, in those slightly awkward in-between moments.
Right, because a lot of people listening understand English, but when they're actually in a conversation, something just tightens up.
Yes. To be honest, it's usually not a language problem. It's a confidence and flow problem. The words are there, but they don't feel natural yet.
Totally. So what we do here is slow things down and look at how English feels to say, not just how it's supposed to be structured.
Exactly. We take everyday phrases, unpack what they really signal, and help you use them without overthinking.
So if you've ever thought, I know English, but social conversations still feel weird, you're definitely in the right place. Okay, so if small talk isn't really about information, then what is it for? Because that's the part that still feels fuzzy.
Yeah, totally. And honestly, this is the reframe that changes everything. Small talk is less about conversation and more about positioning. Wait, let me say that differently. It's about testing the relationship.
Testing how exactly?
Like subconsciously asking, are you friendly? Are you safe? Are you open to interaction? And none of that requires deep topics.
Right. So when someone says cold today, they're not reporting the weather.
Exactly. They're saying, hey, I acknowledge you. I'm not weird. You're not weird. We're good.
That actually takes so much pressure off, because I think learners feel like they have to be interesting or clever.
Yes, and that pressure is misplaced. Small talk works because it's boring. The content is intentionally neutral, so the tone can do the work.
Okay, so tone and rhythm over meaning.
Exactly. Think about an office coffee machine. Someone says, long line today. They don't want a story. They want a signal, a nod, yeah, Mondays.
Totally. And if you respond too deeply, it breaks the rhythm.
Right. That's when it gets awkward. Small talk is short, light, and flexible. It's an invitation, not a commitment.
So what you're saying is, small talk isn't about connecting deeply, it's about opening the door.
Yes, perfectly said. And once you see it that way, you stop trying to perform. You just participate.
And that makes it feel way less fake and way more manageable. Okay, work small talk feels like the hardest version. Like the stakes are suddenly higher. You don't want to sound awkward, but you definitely don't want to sound unprofessional.
Yes, totally. And to be honest, that's because work small talk isn't about bonding, it's about smoothness. It's there to make collaboration feel easy, not personal.
Right. So it's not, let's become best friends. It's more like, we can work together without friction.
Exactly. And that's why the topics are very specific. Safe topics are things you're already sharing. Workload, timing, the meeting you're both walking into. Wait, Actually, let me clarify. It's shared context, not shared opinions.
That explains why something like busy week works so well.
Yes, because it invites a short, honest response. Yeah, pretty packed. Or, not too bad. That's enough. You don't need details.
I get that. And it feels easy to say which matters.
Right. Short responses are good at work. They signal openness without oversharing. Oversharing actually makes people uncomfortable because it breaks the professional rhythm.
So like, if someone asks, how's your morning going? They're not asking for the full story.
Exactly. They're expecting something like, good so far, just back-to-back meetings. That's it. Clean, professional, human.
And what about before meetings? That weird few minutes when everyone's waiting.
Oh, classic small talk zone. Comments like, looks like everyone's joining now, or we'll probably get started soon. They sound pointless, but they reduce tension.
So what you're saying is, at work, small talk is more about maintaining flow than expressing personality.
Yes, perfect summary. If it feels light and slightly boring, you're doing it right.
That's actually really reassuring, because it lowers the pressure a lot.
Exactly. Work small talk succeeds when it stays small.
Okay, I feel like coffee shops are the safest place to practice small talk. Low pressure, short interactions, but somehow people still freeze.
Yes, totally. And honestly, coffee shops are perfect because the interactions are mostly scripted. You're not inventing anything. You're just stepping into a familiar pattern.
Right, like you already know how it's going to start and how it's going to end.
Exactly. Ordering coffee is almost a ritual. What can I get for you? I'll have a latte. That part doesn't require creativity at all. Wait, actually, that's why it's such a good practice space.
Because the language is predictable?
Yes. And once you're comfortable there, you can add tiny bits of small talk, comments about the line, the weather, the music playing, nothing personal.
Totally. Like, it's really busy today, or they always play good music here.
Exactly. And here's the key thing learners miss. Compliments work incredibly well. Saying something like, I liked your mug, or this place always smells amazing, opens a moment of connection without pressure.
That feels easy to say too. It doesn't demand a long response.
Right. And most of the time, small talk in these places ends naturally. The drink is ready, you say thanks, and that's it. No awkward goodbye.
So you're not failing if the conversation ends quickly.
Exactly. Ending quickly is success. Casual small talk is about repetition, not depth.
So what you're saying is, coffee shops are like training wheels for English conversation.
Yes, perfect analogy. Low risk, high repetition, and very forgiving.
That actually makes me want to try more of those tiny moments instead of avoiding them.
And that's how confidence builds. One small interaction at a time.
Okay, elevators. This is the final boss of small talk, right? Everyone's staring at the numbers like they're sacred.
Yes. And honestly, elevators aren't really about conversation, they're about acknowledgement. Just a quick signal of, hey, I see you, we're fine.
Right. That already feels like a relief.
Totally. People think they need to fill the silence, but wait, let me rephrase that. You actually don't. One sentence is enough. Or even just a nod and a smile.
So silence isn't failure?
Exactly. Silence is neutral. It only feels awkward if you believe something is going wrong.
I get that. So what's a safe one-sentence move?
Building stuff works great. This elevator is so slow, or it's always freezing in here. Weather works too, but keep it light. No monologues.
Totally. Short and done.
Yes. And after that, you're allowed to stop talking. That's the part people forget. The goal is acknowledgement, not bonding.
Interesting. So the success metric is basically, did we survive 10 seconds together?
Exactly. And exit phrases help a lot. When the doors open, have a good one or take care. That cleanly closes the moment.
That feels kind, actually. Not stressful.
It is. And for learners especially, elevators are practice in not overdoing it. One sentence. Silence. Exit.
So what you're saying is, less talking, more permission to be human.
Yes. That's the whole lesson, honestly.
Okay, so let's talk mistakes, because I feel like people listening are thinking, what am I doing wrong?
Yeah. And honestly, most mistakes come from trying too hard. The biggest one is asking deep questions way too early.
Right? Like skipping straight to life stories?
Exactly. Someone says, nice weather, and suddenly it's, so, are you happy in your job? It's not wrong, it's just too fast.
Totally. It feels heavy to say.
Yes. Another big one is talking too long. Learners often think more words equals better English, but small talk actually rewards short turns.
That's counterintuitive.
It is. And then there's the interview mode. Question, question, question. Where are you from? How long have you lived here? Do you like it? It can feel intense.
I get that. It stops feeling shared.
Right, small talk should feel like tossing a ball back and forth, not filling out a form. Statements help. Yeah, Mondays are rough, instead of another question.
So what you're saying is, small talk isn't about proving fluency.
Exactly. It's about rhythm and ease. If it feels light, you're doing it right.
Okay, I think this is the part people secretly stress about. Getting stuck in a conversation. Like, how did I get here and how do I leave?
Yes, and actually, that fear is bigger than starting the conversation. People worry there's no escape hatch.
Totally. Even the first word can feel risky.
Right, that's why soft entry phrases matter. Things like, hey, quick question, or this might sound random, but they lower the pressure immediately.
They feel gentle.
Exactly. And on the other side, exits are expected. This is the part learners don't realize. Saying, all right, I should get back, or anyway, nice talking to you, is not rude, it's polite.
Interesting. So leaving isn't failing.
Not at all. Leaving at the right moment is success. It shows social awareness. And honestly, most native speakers are relieved when someone gives a clean exit.
That's comforting.
Yeah, small talk isn't about staying forever. It's about entering smoothly, sharing a moment, and exiting before it gets awkward.
So what you're saying is, control comes from knowing how to leave.
Exactly. Once you know you can exit, everything else feels easier.
Okay, I feel like this whole episode kind of takes the pressure off. Like, small talk isn't about being clever. It's about being human.
Exactly. And to be honest, once you stop trying to perform, things flow more naturally. You're just signaling, hey, I'm friendly, I'm here.
Right. And that's something you can practice everywhere. Coffee shops, hallways, elevators.
Totally. Low stakes, lots of reps. And even if it's awkward, that's fine. Awkward still counts.
I love that. Awkward still counts.
It really does. The goal isn't perfection, it's comfort.
So if you're listening, maybe this week it's just one small comment. That's it.
Yeah, one hey, one busy day, and you're done. Success.
All right. And next time, we're going to flip the script a bit.
Oh yeah, next episode is all about polite English that sounds nice but actually means no.
Which is dangerous but necessary.
Very necessary.